Saying, is like pressing the wrong key on a keyboard. When we're listening to a conversation or somebody playing an instrument and we think to ourselves, oh, this is going to be long. Don't you just hate it? And that's exactly why in this week's episode of MasterTalk, I'm going to teach you exactly how to get rid of these words for good. Hi everyone, Brendan here from MasterTalk and your go-to channel to mastering your talk. And today I'm going to teach you the art of how to get rid of ums and ahs for good. So let's get into it. Number one, why is it so important for us to remove our ums and ahs from our presentations? Because it ruins our credibility if we don't. Think about a presentation that you've seen recently where you're given 3 points and here's point number one, here's point number two, and here's point number three. What happens is when that person is sharing an idea, you have two separate realities going. The first one is the conscious version of yourself that is taking notes and learning the ideas. But the second part is how that presenter is making you feel. The subconscious areas of your mind that are thinking, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. If something feels off in the way that they're sharing their ideas, I almost don't believe what they're saying. So if we keep plastering our presentations with, like all the time, it kills the credibility of your presentation, even if your content is 10 out of 10. And that's why you need to focus your attention and energy on making sure to get rid of them quickly. Number two, my simple trick to getting rid of ums and ahs called cutting midway. The secret to getting rid of your ums and ahs is by replacing them with silences and pauses. And cutting midway is a strategy I teach clients to help us accelerate that pace. Let me give you an example of how to apply this. Let's take 3 different speeches, same sentence. Let's start with the first one. John loves apples. He has one every day to keep the doctor away. If we use that sentence with a bunch of filler words, it sounds like John loves apples and he has one every day to keep the doctor away. Because of the level and number of filler words, we don't take that speaker seriously. Now let's move on to sentence number 2. Where the person is really trying to get rid of their ums and ahs in a sentence, which sounds something like, John loves apples. He has one every day to keep the doctor away. In this example, the speaker is making an extended effort to get rid of their ums and ahs. It becomes the number one priority of their practice, and that's how the training should be done outside of the real presentation. Which brings us to number 3. When you're really good at presenting, you get to a place where you can apply pauses throughout the presentation without worrying about how it affects your content, like so. John loves apples. He has one every day to keep the doctor away. And notice in the final example of this exercise, when somebody has mastered their ability to pause, they can strategically remove the filler words, the the likes, the with pauses. And that comes with time. So all of us start at level 1, where we're saying a bunch of filler words all the time. Then when we move on to level 2, we can really focus our attention just on getting rid of the ums and ahs and not paying attention to anything else in the presentation. And then over time, we become more strategic with the way that we convey our ideas to the world. And finally, number 3, a bonus section. Why are getting rid of ums and ahs so difficult to master? And the reason is really simple. We've been taught our whole lives to say ums and ahs to buy ourselves time. I want to take you back to elementary school, to middle school, to high school. You're 15 years old. You're standing in front of a classroom to give some history presentation you couldn't care less about, and you forget what you need to say next. And then you look at the audience in terror and you start to go, to gather your thoughts and to figure out what you want to say next. But every single subject in school conditions us to present this way by focusing on the fear rather than the joy that we get to create for our audiences. That's why when we become adults later in life, we use ums and ahs as the same crutch that we did as kids to buy ourselves time. But that is not the right way to approach it. We need to unlearn this bad habit that the education system has taught us so that we can begin to see communication as a way to make people's lives better, but also as an opportunity to still buy ourselves time, but do it without saying ums and ahs. So instead of going, great question, John, we instead replace it with, thanks for your point, John. If there's one word I'll leave you with, it's this: focus. So many of you are having this thought right now. Well, Brendan, how do I master my ums and ahs, but also give great content? And also, give this presentation and send videos. Relax. Don't overthink this. The key is understanding that communication is like juggling 18 balls at the same time. One of them is getting rid of your ums and ahs. One of them is looking directly into the camera lens when you're speaking, eye contact. Another one is storytelling. But the secret to mastery is one ball at a time. It's okay if you're saying gibberish while you're focused on getting rid of ums and ahs and you knows and likes. Because when I practiced this, it took me a month of just focusing on that to get rid of all of my filler words. And that's okay. I encourage you to take the journey one step at a time so that eventually you'll be able to juggle all 18 balls as well. As always, if you enjoyed this week's episode of MasterTalk, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well to see more videos like this. And I would love for you to come to my free communication training over Zoom that I do live every 2 weeks for free. And the link is in the description. I can't wait to see you at the next one. And of course, if you know one person who goes, like all the time, be sure to send them this video so that they'll be one step closer to playing the right keys on their instrument. See you soon, everyone.